welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. I'm Papa Pepper, and today I'm talking a little bit about my pond and why I want another turtle for my pond. Thankfully, I was able to spend some time in the lake the other night and able to find a great little addition for my pond, and there is a reason I'm going about things the way that I am. Now, for some time in my life, turtles have been my favorite creature. This one here is a little common snapping turtle, and sometimes when people ask me, why turtles are my favorite, I have to explain to them that I like them more than all the other creatures. That's how favorites work. So this one here is a little snapping turtle. He's going to be part of our cleanup crew. So if you have a fish in here or a minnow in here that gets sick or dies, or maybe a crayfish that doesn't make it, this guy's going to be part of the cleanup crew. Now, they are also predatory, so they will eat living things, but they definitely help clean up some of the dead stuff. And happy to have him kind of in our little crew here. I'll let him go. There you go, buddy. So if you notice in my pond here, one thing you'll see is that I do actually have over there some water circulation, but it's not on. For about the past week now, I haven't been really aerating this at all. I haven't been filtering it, I haven't been aerating it. Now you can see there's a number of different plants. This weed here, I'm not sure what it is, I just saw that it grew well in water, so I secured some to a log that is now submerged, and it's growing up. It's also collected some of this gunk here. If you look at some of that gunk, it's kind of some like aquatic algae, moss looking thing, and then there also is some duckweed mixed in with it. I'm going to kind of keep flipping the long runners of this plant back into the center. You can see some of them reaching out quite a bit and kind of creating more of a mass, kind of more of a floating mat that'll almost be like a little island, but some of it I'm going to trim back as well. Over here you can see that the whole section between the cattails and that little rock has now been filled in with that same type of stuff. Past the rock there's a little bit of lily pads that a friend gave me from his pond, I'm not sure what kind. And then over here is another couple little sprouts of something else. So I want to have an established amount of plants in here that, worst case scenario, I don't need to worry about having electricity. Worst case scenario, I don't have to worry about having a solar panel that's circulating water or that's producing bubbles or a little fountain or something like that. It's just an experiment. And some of the stuff I'm going to have to clear out as well. Pretty much this whole section here I'm going to remove from the pond, and you can see around the cattails there's even more duckweed hanging out over there. So little red-eared sliders like this are actually one of the most popular turtles in the pet trade. They do really well, but the problem is they get a little bit bigger than most people want to keep them. So people buy them when they're cute and small, and remember that any turtle with the shell carapace under 3 inches is possible that it'll be carrying salmonella. So anytime you handle hatchlings or small turtles, make sure that you are washing your hands afterwards. But people will pick these up when they're cute. They do have fantastic shells. You can't really see the pattern on the back of this because it's covered in moss. And they got those cute little red ears. They've been established as an invasive species all around the world now because people pick them up as pets, and then next thing you know, they get too big and they let them go, and then they start breeding and reproducing on their own. So little turtles like this, a lot of times in the wild too, you'll find them up in a mat like that. And one reason that I like red-eared sliders for my pond is that they are omnivores, and as they get older they actually prefer to feed on various non-poisonous aquatic vegetation. Here you go, little buddy. There you go, little buddy. So I mentioned here that at the moment there's some of the weeds that I'm going to have to remove. Part of my goal, and I've seen the turtles in here nibble on quite a few of the plants, but part of my goal is to establish things at kind of an equilibrium where, worst case scenario, there's enough oxygen being put out into the water by the plants that the fish do not need aeration. And then also that the plants are kind of kept in check by something like the turtles, eating the vegetation back, and try to reach kind of the optimum level of kind of just balance in this whole thing. I'm not sure if I can do it. It's an experiment. Even running this pond with no aeration right now, that's an opportunity for me to potentially lose the fish and stuff I got in here. But I'm doing an experiment, I'm checking it out, and I'm seeing what's gonna happen. So, went out the other night with the purpose of trying to find another turtle for my pond. Sometimes you can find a dozen or 20 in a night, sometimes you can't find any. But I went out with Red Pepper to go take a peek and see what we could find. I did also bring my bow along for bow fishing. Just if I see a gar or a carp, I'm gonna wanna shoot that thing and eat it. But we checked it out for a while, and I did find one. So I'll roll that footage now. It's gonna be a little dark, but I'll just roll it quickly of the actual capture. I'm gonna check these branches here, and then we'll make our way along the shoreline. I got a turtle. Little red ear, I think. Oh, is it red ear? Yeah, it's a little red ear. Excellent. Ouch, he just bit me. So you can see there, I found this cute little guy, and these guys have a marvelous shell. Look at that shell. Just so crazy. So this is another little red-eared slider. It's a good size for a pond like this, and when I raise these turtles, I'm not really raising them, I'm just giving them a temporary home. I'm not trying to make friends with them and get them to eat out of my hand, because I want them to be wild. This is just a temporary place for them to live and enjoy some stuff for a bit before we go release them back into the lake. I'm not trying to make pets out of them. I just want this little body of water to be like you know, similar to a little pond they may find somewhere, a little vernal pool somewhere. So I'm going to release this guy now into my pond, and you know, they will eat living creatures. There's minnows in here that it may eat. I'm not sure if these guys will eat the snails or little crayfish too, but they may. And then they can also help with that snapping turtle, be part of the kind of cleanup crew. One of the ones that eats dead animals here. So I'm going to let it go, and we're going to put it in this pond. And hopefully he'll have a new temporary home for a bit. You saw in that last video these honeybees, you know, there they are again, getting water at the bottom of that cattail. I'm gonna put this guy in here. There you go, little buddy. So, in my opinion, I'm blessed to be able to live in a place like this, be able to check some of those guys out. We do have turtles that just pass through our property anyway. If you saw those box turtles at the beginning, those are not, you know, a native, those are not an aquatic species. They can use water to regulate their body temperature, but they don't really just jump in a pond and live there. They're a terrestrial turtle. So I don't want to throw anyone off with that. But that's my new turtle. He's in the pond. I don't know what I'll name him. If you've got a good name for a cute little red-eared slider like that, please let me know, and we'll see what we name him. But it'll be in that pond, and I'll kind of just continue with my experiments and see what happens here. Wish me luck. Papa out.